And we have three role models joining us today. So I would warmly welcome for this session the three alumni members who have accepted our invitation to join us today. So the first presenter would be Ms. Chalini Karunayaka. So I would welcome Chalini for this session. In spite of the very busy schedules he's currently in, she had always been helpful for any request we make from the department. She had been a part of our judging session previously for DHAC as well, and she has been leading initiatives to join our department students with ISAC, and I'm sure she will be touching on that in her presentation. Then we have Ms. Samudhi Abesurya, who has been probably a familiar face to you because she was actually part of our department staff a couple of years back as well, and she also is in the same domain as in information systems security and auditing. That's the track we have selected for today. And again, as a recent relatively recent pass out, I think she would have perspectives which obviously are related to you in terms of timing, as well as from her exposure in the industry up now. So when we talk of this industry, or rather this domain, information system security and auditing, there are opportunities available in Sri Lanka and beyond. So even last year we had a number of individuals joining us, and from not just from within Sri Lanka, online as well. So we will be hoping to connect up with Mr. Indika Jayavira from Kuwait. It's early morning in Kuwait. I believe Indika is not joined us yet, but he's supposed to join us by 11 o'clock. And again, in spite of the busy schedule he has in Kuwait, I think it's Friday is Thursday is this time was okay for him because it's early morning. So I hope we will be he has confirmed his communication and he will be joining by that time. Okay, so with that, I will hand back to Rasanka. So I hope you will interact with our alumni invitees and speakers and gain the best out of them for your success. So even if you are not going to maybe, I mean, I'm sure some of you may have you selected a different domain, or you may have already selected some other domain, but still the perspectives that alumni offer as passed out students from our department and working in the industry will be very beneficial for your future as well. So with that, I will hand back to Rasanka to continue with proceedings. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Before moving on, it's my pleasure to introduce you all our guest speakers for the second day of our workshop series. Today, we have three proud alumni of the Department of Information Technology at the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce at University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. The very first speaker for today's session is Chalini Karunayaka, CISM, CISA Executive Master in Information Security and currently working as an Information Security Manager at DFCC Bank. Moreover, she is volunteered in ISACA Sri Lanka chapter and worked as a Senior Technology Advisory Associate at Ernst & Young. Ms. Chalini Karunayaka, we warmly welcome you for today's session. Our next speaker is Ms. Samudhi Abesurya, Master in Information Technology from University of Moratuwa and currently working as a Technology Advisory Associate at EY. Furthermore, she was the Vice Secretary of SAT in 2017. Ms. Samudhi Abesurya, we warmly welcome you for today's workshop. Our last speaker for today's session is Mr. Indika Jayavira, Master in Network and Information Security from Kingston University and currently working as a Senior Information Security Officer at KNIT. Mr. Indika Jayavira, we warmly welcome you for today's workshop. And we are honored to have your presence today. Well, I think all are here and we are going to start the second day of our workshop series. Ms. Chalini Karunanayake, this is your time.
Good morning, all. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure whether you can see me. Is my camera okay? Hope you can see me now. Give me a few seconds. I want to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
I think we are seeing the like a slide summary, but not the present.
Yeah. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Because due to data privacy controls, I really can't download my presentation. What I can do to keep in
Okay,
this mode
now
and
it's
show
okay.
it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, you can see my slide deck only, right?
Yes, earlier it was much more wide. Yeah, that was better. That's better.
Okay, cool. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity, especially Dr. Lasit and Dr. Mahesh and everyone, every lecturers in the department for giving me this opportunity. So I'm so privileged to have this opportunity to share my experience in my career ladder with you all. So this is a quick introduction about myself. Actually, as you know, I'm Chalini Karunanayake and I'm certified information security profession in the industry. So in terms of my academic and professional qualification, as you all, I graduated from University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, Bachelor of Information Systems special degree, and also I have completed my executive master in information security. And in terms of my professional qualifications, I have completed certifications like CISM, CISA, and CBISI, which is for payment card industry security certification, and also lead auditor, which is ISO 27001. And currently, I'm working as Manager Information Security attached to DFCC Bank PLC. And also, I'm currently Shili Tech Ambassador in Osaka, Sri Lanka chapter, representing Sri Lanka in global platform. Also, I'm a committee member in SLASCOM attached to Cyber Security Committee. So, before I proceed with actually from where I started and where I am today and what sort of experience that I have gained so far, I thought of quickly walk you through my journey because I thought there would be some takeaways from my story because as I mentioned, I kicked off from the same department as you all, and Then I selected information security career path. Okay, so moving forward, actually, when it comes to my journey, I did my A-level examination in 2009, and that is in commerce stream, and I got 1.96 Z score. But even though my Z score was sufficient to read for management degree, that was not my desire. I really wanted to join with our department. So without any hesitance, I applied for business information systems degree, and that was my first choice, and I got selected. uh, that is actually while at that time, back in 2009, I got to know about our department when I was schooling, and that was my strong determination from that age to join with our department and take ahead my career in information technology field. So in 2010, I entered the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura and Department of Information Technology. And to be frank, I was not, even though I joined with the department and started my information technology degree, I was not that clear what is the path I should take. So, as all of you and most of the students in our department, I completed few chartered exams, and at that time, it was CAB 2, CAB 1 exam. So I completed all by second year of my degree. I have completed all these chartered exams, and yes, I was about to take the next step, but I was like, is this the path I really want? Because I'm ready for my information technology degree and I'm doing chartered professional exams. So I felt like there's a contradiction and this is not the exact path I really want. Then I decided to take software development career path, and I started developing some software myself, and as a result of that I got the opportunity to participate to few with four with three, yes, three of my friends to inter-university software development competition, which was organized by SLASCOM in 2012, and we were able to secure the second runner-up. At that time, actually, there was a similar kind of career fair or something like that organized by the university, and I happened to know about ISACA and information security field, and I was like, okay, this is the path for me. And I did some market research and I understood what kind of potential opportunities in the future I can have if I take this path. So that was my passion, and then I started myself reading different articles and different books related to information security, cyber security, information technology, auditing, and all. So here I have included few pictures from my university life, and this one is from our graduation photo, and also the other one is, this is back in 2012 when we got the second runner-up prize in inter-university software development competition. So that this is the point where I wanted to change my career, and I happened to know about information security field, and I got the opportunity to join with EY Sri Lanka. So I would say this is the stepping stone of my life. I joined with them as a trainee information systems auditor while I was reading for my bachelor's degree. When I went to that interview, actually, I had no idea about what is information security, what is cyber security, and what sort of exams that I should follow. But, you know, in our degree, we had some subjects like information systems management and also information resource planning, something like, yes, some similar subjects, and where we were taught about business continuity planning, disaster recovery planning, preventive detective controls. So I went through all these areas thoroughly before I joined my interview, and I was able to answer all my questions well, and they were really impressed because that was my desire to take ahead in my career in information security, even though there were not much exposure. But during my research and readings myself, I was able to gather some knowledge to prepare for my interview. So that is how I secured this opportunity. No recommendation, nothing but myself. I prepared my resume, I prepared my um, cover letter mentioning what I really want. So I was able to grab this opportunity, and within a very short time span, I was promoted in each consecutive year. I started as a trainee, and then I was, even before I complete my degree, I was promoted as technology advisory associate, and then senior technology advisory associate. So at that time, I was the only one who was promoted like this in each consecutive year. And actually, all this happened while I was reading for my degree. I didn't miss my studies. I gave same priority. I didn't miss my assignment. Yes. So moving forward in 2015, I was able to graduate with a second class upper degree. And at the same time, I got an offer from Merchant Bank of Sri Lanka to join with them as Assistant Manager Information Security and Compliance. This is something very important because when go to my internship, I had a very strong determination. I can't stress enough how I badly wanted that. I wanted to have 2 years to 1 year industry exposure and to join with a senior position like assistant manager, not to some junior level, not to some um, executive levels, but to assistant manager, something like that. So I was able to fulfill that uh, my dream as well. That was in 2015. And when it comes to latter part of my career in 2018, I got so much of opportunities, and I was able to closely work with different security projects with FISA Australia team. And also, as an appreciation for that, I was given a training in Melbourne. At the same time, I got merit award in NBQSA competition and participated for Apicta China competition. And in 2019, I got the opportunity to join with PwC Sydney as Information Security Audit and GRC Specialist. And also, I got selected as the extraordinary performer in 2019 July in Sydney Risk Management Team. So why I have included all these pictures and highlighted these key milestones, because I think this is kind of a motivation for you, because back in 2009 I also started off my career started off I mean 2009 I joined the university as you all, and started off my career in 2012 as an intern. So that's why I wanted to highlight all these for you to get motivated to understand the potential opportunities that all of you can gain. And in 2020, I had to come back to Sri Lanka. Actually, that is something um, unplanned due to COVID, and I got stranded in Sri Lanka. And during this time, I was invited to be the ambassador, Sri Lead Tech ambassador in Sri Lanka. In the latter part of my presentation, I will give you some idea about what is ISAC and what kind of professional exams you can take. And now I'm working as a manager information security, and also I continued my professional development, because when it comes to Sri Lanka now, it is the regulatory requirement. If you attach to banking and financial sector, the ISA, all these ISACA examinations are a regulatory requirement. So I did more exams while I I'm working here, and also why I included my future next step again to motivate you all. In 2 weeks, like I'll be going back to Australia to join one of Big Fours as a manager technology risk. So this is another opportunity I got because of my experience and my degree and everything I have gained so far. So this is in nutshell my journey, what I have done from 2009 to 2020 till today. How moving forward, actually during my presentation today, I really want to emphasize you what is information security field. You may have already selected your internship program or your career path, but I think this is something very important when it comes to your selecting your career path. I'm attached to information security, and we can see there are plethora of information security opportunities not only in Sri Lanka but around the globe. We are running lack of resources. Actually, we don't have sufficient resources in our field because there are no, the I would say, minimum number of qualified and experienced people in our industry. So based on the statistics, we can see that there are 3.5 million unfilled jobs globally in 2021 in terms of cybersecurity. So when it comes to cybersecurity, I would say this is not something that you have to complete. You don't have to have a cybersecurity degree to become a cybersecurity professional. That is what I really want to highlight. Me, same as you all, got business information systems special degree from University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, and today I am serving as an information security professional, not only in Sri Lanka, but also around the globe. I was able to grab different opportunities. So there are plethora of opportunities that you can do. So sometimes people think that when it comes to cybersecurity, this is all about technical. No, I'm not a technical person, and I'm not technically sound. To be frank with you all, I'm not technically sound. But when it comes to information security, there are different aspects and different domains that you can take ahead to your career. For instance, if you are not technically sound, you can be governance, risk and compliance officer, what we call GRC. So you have to deal with policy procedures development, implementing controls, and you have to work with other regulatory bodies to implement different kind of information security frameworks. And also you can be a data privacy and protection officer. You may have heard that recently Data Protection Act in Sri Lanka is now it is an act. So there are a lot of opportunities in this data privacy and protection field as well. Or you can be an information security or information systems auditor, also information um, response manager. Likewise, there are a number of opportunities. Or you can be technology risk consultant, technology information security consultants. There are a number of opportunities. And also, if you like this technical area, there are multiple technical opportunities, like you can be information security analyst, cyber security analyst, cyber security engineer, threat intelligence managers, penetration and vulnerability testers. So there are a lot of opportunities, and it is your responsibility. You have to understand what is your desire. For that, actually, you have to do some market researches. This is really important. Internet is free. You can access plethora of information. You have to do some market research, and you have to understand what are the potential opportunities that you have. then you can select a path and you can work on that. And moving forward, there are a lot of ways that you can grab the opportunities. If you take top jobs, and there are other career sites as well. So this is the traditional method. In addition to that, you can take the advantage of LinkedIn. For me, actually, there are a number of students from different universities reaching out to me asking for internship opportunities. Yes, we consider all these opportunities. We take their resume, we interview them, and if they are a good fit to our requirement, yes, obviously we give them the opportunity. Recently, we interviewed like 75, 80 students, undergraduates from different universities of Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, I have to mention this as well. When it comes to information opportunity, actually there are some you also have to do some homework before you get interviewed, and before we recruit you, you have to do some readings, you have to prepare, and also you have to improve your attitudes. So that is another point. When you get opportunity, always make sure that you get prepared before you are interviewed, because when it comes to interviews, actually for internship, what we used to do, we don't do series of interviews, but just a phone call, one or two phone calls. It takes like 15 minutes for us to understand basically the attitude of the student. Not all the technical matters, not all the certifications, but the right attitude and goals, whether they have that passion to go ahead in this field, because you should have passion when it comes to this information security and technology field. If you don't do homework, if you don't improve yourself, if you don't update your knowledge, then you get stranded, and then you can't optimize your skills, and then you'll get an outdated resource. So when it comes to our recruitment process, that is the main thing that we are looking for, whether you have that right attitude and desire to learn, and whether you have that commitment. So make sure that you improve your those skills as well. And another thing is career fair. There are number of career fairs, you can reach out to them, and also you can directly access company websites with, not only on LinkedIn, but our career, in our career pages we publish our available vacancies. You can apply to them. Also, you can get opportunities through networking. This is really strong. uh, I'll quickly walk you through what is ISACA and the opportunities that we are given. For instance, when it comes to networking, you have different students groups like ISACA. So in the ISACA group, when there are opportunities, we communicate, hey, there are openings like this, your students can apply. So um, um, we gather all your resumes, and then what we do, we shortlist your resume and we give interview opportunities. And also there are different groups. Again, this is relevant to networking. For career opportunities, internship opportunities, there are groups, so we post our job opportunities there. And also, if you want to reach to the global market, I have mentioned some opportunity, some websites here, like Seek, Indeed, Monster. So not only in Europe countries, but in Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, Canada. So all the information security opportunities are published in this website. So what you can do, you can just Google them. You can see there are a number of opportunities. So just give it a try. So nothing to lose. That's my um, one of the advices that I have to give you. Just try. Maybe your resume is not up to the standard. Maybe that is not what we are looking for. Still, if you don't land your job interview within couple of weeks or couple of months, just try, send your resume, update it. Don't have a standard resume and apply to all the jobs. Don't do that. Customize it, cater our requirement, because if you are asked for some technical skills, and if you put some chartered SEMA and other qualifications, so you will not, for sure, you will not be shortlisted. So keep that in mind. You have to make an effort. You have to customize your resume. So do that and apply. Also prepare. I got to know that you have provided that training as well. So when it comes to resume, that is really important. And also I have to highlight here, sometimes we get resumes, if you don't have proper picture to include to your resume, please don't do. Just keep it without a picture. So that is more professional than including unnecessary photos. For sure, you will not get shortlisted. So even though that is not relevant to here, I really want to highlight it. That is a negative point. If you include some very, casual and inappropriate picture, then you will not get shortlisted. I just remembered that point. That's why I wanted to mention that. Okay, so this is the way to pave the way, actually. So, when it comes to our degrees, especially, I would say our state university degrees, information security subject doesn't play a major role. This area is included to other subjects, but that is not a major one. But don't give up. There are a lot of opportunities that you can improve your knowledge in information security, cyber security. So the primary education source in the world is ISACA. This is a global body, uh, and they provide different trainings as well as certifications. Yes, these certifications are not free. I have to highlight that. Still, these are the qualifications, credential that you can market yourself. As I mentioned in at the beginning of my presentation, when it comes to Sri Lankan context, you can't be an information security manager without CISM certification in a bank. Likewise, so these are the credentials that you have to gain. Then you can market yourself not only in Sri Lanka, but in other countries as well. For sure, you don't have money to pay, because these are dollar. You have to pay in dollars. You don't have money since you are still reading for your degree. But keep that in mind, make it a goal. Start from your internship and have a strong desire to complete your exam within 2 years. Save a small amount, then you can go for a loan one day and do your exam. Keep these desires, prioritize these. Then you have a target. Okay, I'm going to take my CISA exam in 2 years. Then, when you complete your internship, you have internship exposure, which is we consider as industry exposure. You have your bachelor's degree and you have 1 or 2 professional certifications. This is really important. Even when we not for your internship, but for junior, even for junior and executive positions, once we receive resume, we look with what are the qualifications this particular candidate has. So make sure you can. I know it's a bit difficult in this economic crisis, but be positive think that you can. And also there are other bodies as well. And why I have mentioned this might attack, this the third one, actually these are free courses. You can just go to that site and you can do free certification if you are interested. Then you can include these to your resume, and then once we get your internship resume, oh wow, this particular candidate has completed might attack certification. Yes, a plus point. And there are a number of other technical exams you can do, and which is free. Like if you are a technical person, there are a lot of videos that you can find in YouTube. And also you can study some before your internship if you like to take career in information security. And if you are not a technical person, you can get familiar with ISO 27001 2013, which is the global framework for information security management. So during your interview, you can highlight, I'm familiar with ISO 27001 2013. I'm familiar with the 13 domains. Then we are wow. So that's kind of a plus point. And you can familiar with NIST, but this is not that popular in Sri Lanka, but in other countries. So do some research and study yourself, gather knowledge. So from today, I think you will pay your attention and dedicate some time to improve your knowledge. And also, I really want to highlight this one, and this is kind of my tagline in my life. Now you are in third year or fourth year, and you have almost completed your degree, and you are ready to enter to the industry. In the industry, your bachelor's degree is just the primary qualification you have. Even if it is the second class upper or first class degree, there are a lot that you have to work on after you enter to the industry. So as I mentioned throughout my presentation, that's your responsibility. You have to improve your knowledge, you have to do researches, you have to read, you have to network with other people. You have to improve yourself, otherwise you will get stranded. Also, when it comes to information security field, there are a lot of opportunities, as I mentioned throughout my presentation. Don't be hesitate. You have to come out from your comfortable zone, and that is the zone where magic happens. You will understand this once you get 1 or 1.5 years experience in information security field. You really can grab an opportunity where you will paid a good salary even in Sri Lanka to rather than to other professionals in your age. So always keep in mind, you have to step out, you have to look outside your comfortable zone. If you are into technical area, just try to understand these standards and other technology framework, and try to touch that area as well. And also, if you are into this GRC and non-technical area, try to understand these technical areas and try to do these technical exams as well, because around the globe there are a number of opportunities. Just try. I'm telling this uh, actually based on my experience. um, I was in Australia, then I had to come back here, then again I'm going there. So all these are just because I really wanted to stay outside of my comfortable zone and to explore new opportunities. So I was able to secure all the positions I want, and I want to see you all in the industry one day holding big positions, not only in Sri Lanka but around the globe. I think that brings, and yes, that's the end of my presentation, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. Um, do you have any questions? And also, if you want some internship opportunities in the banking field or in Big Fours or something like that, you can reach out to me at any time through my LinkedIn profile. You can simply drop your resume to my LinkedIn, so we can consider and I can share with my network.
So I'm surprised no one's asking questions. But that's one of the things I think should change. If you're looking at the, these are third and fourth year students especially, and you are supposed to join the industry soon, and unless you make most of these opportunities, you uh, and ask questions, and you must have that mindset to improve yourself and to learn from others. Maybe I'll just ask one question, Janani, like related to students. Let's say if one, now you mentioned there were a number of management oriented and technical oriented qualifications that one can follow, but if there was one qualification for a student who is looking at the non-technical track, someone who does not is not a considered a technology, he is not into development but interest in security area, if you were to recommend one qualification that they can follow, not as undergraduates himself, but let's say as soon as they start, what would you recommend?
Okay. So to answer your question, I would say that is CSAR. That is because that is not actually technical examination that is offered by ISACA. CSAR is one of the well-paid and most recognized examinations around the globe in terms of information security. So if one completed CSA examination as the first examination, so that is more focused into information security auditing field, from there he or she can continue other examinations like CISM, CISSP, which is more technical and bit difficult than other examinations. So there are a number of examinations that he or she can take after that. So as the first examination, I would say CISA.
Okay, all right. And also, like, I'll probably ask this from Indica as well. Now, I think people look at salary scales at the end of the day. So, can you maybe comment on your experience compared with now you worked in the industry for so many years here and abroad? Just give an indication of what prospects this field offers, probably.
Yes, to be frank with you, actually, our industry paid well, I would say, other than other information technology fields. For instance, in our bank, actually, other than in unlike other departments, if we recruit to our information systems security department, for intern, we pay, I believe that's the highest in the industry. So yes, so I can't mention the exact figure here, but we are paid, I mean, information security professionals are paid well. That is for internship. So after that, if you have 1 year qualification, like, then you can go to the industry and you can demand, because you have a degree, you have, I would say, you have this professional qualification if you have that, and then with your degree and experience and all, you can demand yourself and you go for good salary. I would say there are my juniors, they take their second career, that is, they gain more than, they are demanding more than 100,000. So that is basically that depends on the industry. I would say sometimes banking sector paid less and IT companies pay more. But still, in Sri Lankan context, information security professionals are paid well. So obviously, in other countries, information security professionals are paid well because we are in the peak, actually, our job opportunities and our career domain, that's in the peak, and there are a number of opportunities, and the organizations really want to grab experienced and people with hands-on experience as well as professional qualifications. So you can demand yourself and you can have a good salary.
Okay, thanks, Charlie. I think Rasanka, maybe you can take, or if there are any questions, one last chance. Okay, there is a question from Rasangika on the chat. Okay, it's I think posted to me. Is there internship opportunity only for IT security? I guess what is asked is there internship opportunity only for security versus IT auditing? I think that's what maybe the question is. I think you're on mute. You're on mute, Charlie. Sorry.
Sorry, actually in our department, we are recruiting only for information security. So even there are two parts actually, for non-technical GRC part as well as for cyber security technical part. But in other departments, yeah, they have internship opportunities. For instance, in IT department, in business analytics departments, yes, they do have, but you have to get that sort of information from
from them.
HR.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Rasanka, over to you, I think, for your comments and.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Chalini Karunanayaka, for sharing your experience and knowledge. And it's really interesting to hear your success story, and it's inspired us a lot. So, well, Mr. Indika Chayavira, join us now. And
yeah,
as I mentioned earlier,
before we go to that, can we just take the group picture here itself? Because while everyone is there, I guess, isn't it? Can we just take a group picture now? Because I think Chalani may have to move out, and Indika is also here, and Samudhi is also here. And can we Sorry to break the schedule. Maybe we have to stop the. Charlie, could you stop sharing the screen?
Oh, have I? Sorry.
So
Someone will be taking the. Maybe Buddhimala, are you in a position to take the picture?
So it's time for taking our group photo. So please make sure your cameras is turned on. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me today. Yes. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chalmi Karunayaka, for sharing your experience and knowledge. Okay, Mr. Indika Jaivira join us now. As I mentioned earlier, he is another proud alumni of our department and currently working as a senior information security officer at KNE. Mr. Indika Jaivira, we warmly welcome you for today's workshop and we'd love to hear what you have to add for today's session.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning from Kuwait. This is really nice to see you all in such a great platform. I haven't seen Shalini from 10 years, I think, after the graduation. It's really nice to see you all, and let me share a couple of thoughts about myself. And I'm basically from South Badegama. I studied in Christchurch Boys College at Badegama. I think you all can see my screen, right? So this is me in the right-hand corner. And actually, in the university, I was not a kind of a bright student as such. I remember I failed calculus and probability theory twice and project management once. But I was kind of good at more into the kind of extracurricular activities. We had a association called SAT IT. I still remember that we were doing kind of programs, outings, a lot of activities being done at that time, back in 2008. So couple of pictures to share my memories. So this is the evidence to prove that finally I got graduated in 4th year. So the university gave me a greater platform to grow up myself and gain exposure about the communities, and the studies which we have done is pretty much important to build a career in my area. So because it was a kind of a blend of management subjects and the IT subjects. So I was kind of good at doing the system analytics and the control implementation this side. Actually, how I get into the industry as a third year student. At the end of the third year, we need to complete the internship part. So I got an opportunity in KPMG to join with them and work as an information security systems auditor back in 2011. So this job basically entails visiting the client places and conducting systems audits to support the statutory audit requirements which had in KPMG. So we were visiting the client places and evaluating their general IT controls, application controls, such as so we had the great exposure to go and visit their data centers, evaluate their applications, how system works, get kind of hands-on knowledge about those areas. So that was, I think, kind of pretty good basis when it comes to building a career in IT. After doing this kind of assessments, I think after 2 years, I moved to PwC, which is again a big four firm. I joined as a information security analyst. So I got the exposure of how the security assessments been conducted, because at that time, let me share my LinkedIn. Yeah. So basically, we were doing kind of assessments like risk assessments and doing the functional level application review controls, doing the penetration testing assessments to the clients. Basically, this is how PwC is getting paid from the clients, because they want to be better and they want to be more secure with their information. Mainly the banks, top banks in Sri Lanka, and the energy industry and different industries. I got the my hands-on opportunities to work with their systems and gain more knowledge and exposure about it. So I think after less than 2 years I worked there, and then I joined as a executive IT audit and security in Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, which oftentimes called as SEC. This head office in WTC. Basically, they had a kind of requirement to create a framework, the governance framework for information security and controls, because SEC, being the regulator in the capital market industry, they wanted to implement some controls over the stockbrokers, margin trading, providing companies, and those kind of capital market industry companies, because those days were having a couple of scandals, the frauds. So as SEC, they want to regulate these companies who are implementing the controls. When it comes to IT, those they had kind of systems which is not that much secured as today. So basically, my task was to prepare a governance framework and a control framework which SEC can enforce to the capital market industries companies. So that was a great experience, and I always had a desire to get some in-depth knowledge about information systems and audit. So I joined with Pan Asia Bank in 2015. There's an executive information system studies, so that gives me kind of hands-on exposure about the experience about how the core banking systems work and how the infrastructure controls has to be implemented, and what is the trade-off of these implementations, and what are the standards which banks need to be line with the when it comes to the financial industry. So that was a pretty good exposure. I would say most of the times it's a kind of an in-depth exposure, because we were doing kind of uh, big assignments. So usually, unlike the small audits which we were carried out in KPMG, this kind of audits are going for months. So that was a great experience, I would say. So then this is the point I had a career shift from information systems audit to security. In 2017, I joined in with KNet, which is the uh, main transaction switch in Kuwait. So basically, what KNet does is uh, integrate all the banks and the payment platforms. So whatever the transactions are going through KNet in Kuwait, and we are connected to all the Gulf countries such as GCC net and Bahrain net. So this is a kind of pretty similar to the Lanka Pay. These are similar functions which we carried out here, but in greater broader aspects, like the transactions are billions. So here I work as information security officer, basically taking care of the governance framework and the compliance frameworks, and uh, implementing controls, supporting audits, and taking the incident response actions. So I'd like to show you kind of, since Charani already spoke about information systems audit, I'd like to speak about how is the uh, information systems information security office functions, basically what it entails. So basically main areas like we cover like cybersecurity architecture. I do believe you all can see my screen, right?
We are seeing the LinkedIn profile.
Still the link in it. To reshare. Is it visible now?
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, fine. So basically, information security office entails major functions such as the architecture design, IT governance, threat and vulnerability management, security awareness, incident management, and a couple of other activities and the regulatory requirements which we need to adhere as a financial institution. So security architecture, basically the cybersecurity architecture entails with the perimeter security which we have implemented in an organization. It more about the controls which we implemented, could be technical controls or as the human and process controls. So this overall overarching framework is basically comes as a cybersecurity architecture, and we need to work with the most of the times we have to work with the technologies such as firewalls, web application firewalls, the intrusion prevention and detection systems. So the trends which I see, mostly the solutions are moving to cloud platforms, because here also now there's a big move to cloud. So most of the solutions which I have seen, like on-prem solutions, are now moving to cloud. So if it's a firewall, so if it's on-prem firewall, now it's a cloud firewall. Like most of the times, employees are hosting their solutions in cloud platform like Azure or Amazon AWS. So getting that kind of knowledge is a bit different and more important, I would say, because this is the future of information security also. Because since all the technology platforms are moving to cloud, so we need to gain continuous learning about these solutions. And the MDR, XDR, and SOAR platforms are uh, new technologies to us, because earlier this mostly synonymous as SIEM, event management and monitoring platforms. Now it's extended monitoring, which is integrated with AI technologies and integrated with the more correlation analysis and AI and threat intel feeds. So this is the trend which I can see in cybersecurity. So it's also the behavioral based detections, like user activity based detections is no longer like kind of antivirus which contains signatures. It's like signatures are kind of outdated concept today, because it's more of a kind of behavioral based detection which is based on the MITRE attack framework. uh, so those kind of trends I would like you also to follow if you want to pursue a career in cybersecurity side. So threat and vulnerability management, basically this is about the misconfigurations and vulnerabilities which contains in the systems. So when it comes to systems, we need to secure these systems from the vulnerabilities. Um, is a kind of a continuous effort. So vulnerability, I would say nothing but a kind of a flow of the code or the misconfiguration, which you will see if you type NVD in Google. You will see that there's one platform called National Vulnerability Database, which reports all these global vulnerabilities. One is published, and these vulnerabilities we need to fix by patching the servers or patching the web applications, or implementing controls to prevent these kind of vulnerabilities. So this is kind of activity which we do in daily basis. It's not, there's no stop for this, because vulnerabilities are every day there will be a new vulnerability. Like if you are interested into cybersecurity, when you type vulnerabilities in Google, you will get a ton of latest vulnerabilities. So it's a kind of a continuous effort. So what kind of trends I see is because of the automated testing, automated tools to scan the vulnerabilities and patch the vulnerabilities. So most of the times this vulnerability fix is automated today, and there's something called vulnerability prioritization, because when it comes to the thousands of vulnerabilities, we need to decide that which vulnerability we need to be fixed first. So there's a prioritizing solution also available in the market. It does the prioritization based on the context of the organization and the kind of threat hunting information, threat hunting feeds. So there's one activities which we carry out, like red team, blue team, and purple teaming, which is kind of hackers and defenders we be bringing together, so that we call people. Red means the hackers, blue means the defenders when it comes to the network. So purple means when you combine these two teams together, and we are doing kind of a non-assessments to see that how far they can reach when it comes to hacking. So we have our own controls, and we are assessing by ourselves to how strong we are, right? So that's one impressive thing which we carry out on annual basis. And the governance, I think Shalini has already spoke about this, but let me just explain you about the trends. As a financial institution, we always comply with PCI DSS and ISO 20001 standard. These are something which you need to search to gain more knowledge about the industry frameworks, because industry cannot consist or continue without complying to certain standards, because this enables to attract more customers and comply with the regulatory requirements. So this is important. And as a security division, what we do, we manage these standards. We comply, we harden our servers and applications according to these standards, guidelines. Okay. So, and data classification also one important thing which we work on daily basis. So this is kind of areas when you get into a cybersecurity career, you have to be thorough with these standards and work on these kind of technologies. So there are new versions of the compliance standards being released. If you type PCI compliance versions, you will see there's a version 4. Now that's one of area which we need to excel in our careers also. So it's always learning. When it comes to cybersecurity, it's always learning, because the technology is changing, compliance frameworks are changing. So that's about it. And security awareness and training is, because it's not enough to control your environment, applying the controls, because the human is the weakest links when it comes to cybersecurity. So employees always tend to click on phishing emails which contains malicious, which redirects to malicious softwares, and tend to download into their PCs or steal passwords. So these things we need to educate on a continuous basis, because it's a requirement for us. And most of the times now is automated testing, so they will do kind of tool-based assessments, and we push them for conducting the phishing simulation. So simulations in the sense, we create a kind of a phishing template, try to see that once we are done with the awareness, we want to see the users who is still not that much aware about clicking on the phishing links. So those kind of things are tool based now. So once we launch the campaigns, we identify who are the vulnerable users which could click on a link and download the malware to our computers. So by doing these kind of testings, we can separate them and educate them more about how to use the emails, because this is one of main area when it comes to cybersecurity, because users are always tend to click. Okay. And the incident management also one of the important skill which you need to develop. Most of the times when it comes to DDoS attack or malware attack or insider threat, we need to take actions accordingly. We have a timeline based on our recovery time objectives. So we need to attend immediately for these incidents, investigate it and detect it, recover it, prevent it, and lessons learned from this incident we need to implement. Like for these kind of things now, mostly doing as a service by consultants. We call it IR service, incident response service. So certain companies which contains less number of staff, they tend to move out to this kind of service, outsource these services. So it's a one area which you also can excel. If you are pretty good at this incident response, incident management, you can pursue your career in that area. Finally, I'd like to speak about the managed security services. This is because there are ample number of opportunities as SOC monitors, as incident responders, and security analysts, because there are companies who take care about securities of the company. There are companies who manage firewalls on behalf of the clients. There are companies who conduct security awareness trainings on behalf of the client. There are companies who conduct incident response on behalf of the clients, forensic investigations. So this kind of activities, there are consultants, there are organizations who dedicated for cybersecurity. So if you are interested to pursue a career in those areas, you can always look into these opportunities in LinkedIn. I think in Sri Lanka also there are managed service providers. This is a kind of trend now. So this is all about cybersecurity career. So far, I've been in this company for 5 years, so I got the kind of hands-on exposure how to manage the day-to-day cybersecurity. So the certifications which you need to follow is like sky's the limit. You can go in different paths, different certification opportunities you have. Most of them are yes, it's expensive, but I would like to stress you to at least gain the certifications like primary certification like certified ethical hacker or the certified penetration testing students to just to give a startup to your career. But it's actually kind of a lot of areas, a lot of certification areas which you can pursue and which you can gain if you are interested in those. When it comes to certification, it's always you have to have a balance between your work and the learning. But if you are pretty good at certain areas, there are companies who will offer you a job or opportunities, even if you are not that much certified. So because the certifications mainly is one thing is a cost involvement, and the time, and it involves many things, but this always gives you the recognition about what are the areas you have your skills. So it's a kind of a way of demonstrating your skills. So recently, I also following these kind of paths is a continuous thing. There is no kind of a destination when you get into a cybersecurity career, especially or information security career. It's like always learning thing and always gaining the knowledge. Could be on the job or studying about something. So that's about myself and the experience I got. One main thing I want to highlight, I would not be in this position if I not followed the degree program, the business information systems degree program, because that gave me a kind of a foundation to go out and work as a information technology auditor, because it contains management and IT subjects. Because at the time we were in the university, we also had a kind of uncertainty, like we were thinking what could be the future. But I can assure you there are many opportunities out there. Just go and hunt them. You no need to think about the specific area about the degree program, because usually degree programs are contains with multiple subjects. The importance is you need to complete it, and you might experience the value of it once you get into the industry. Thank you. That's all I have to speak to you about my experience. Do you have any questions?
So again, I think time for questions quickly. Any questions? Type or ask directly. So in the interim, I'll just ask one question, Indika. So now you made the move from Sri Lanka to Kuwait. So I mean, as you may know, in Sri Lanka, people are even students would be anxious in the current context of what's happening out here. They are thinking of moving, some are thinking of how can I go abroad and work. So what is your advice? Like when did you make the choice and why did you make it at that time to move out of Sri Lanka?
I think mainly because of the financial gains, because the competitive salary when it comes to the with the Sri Lankan context. So actually, it's like over 1 million salary in as a information security officer job in here most of the time. But one advice for the students, if you really want to go for a career in um, abroad, that kind of, if you build some kind of experience, that will give you some value. But always, if you need to do further studies, I would recommend to go out and study for your masters, because then you will probably get the graduate visa opportunities in countries like UK or US or any other European countries. But in Middle East, mostly is kind of contacts-based recruitments. But there are recruitments going on, and also is quite competitive here also. But mostly, if you can gain some kind of experience, and then if you can look at the career opportunities, that will definitely help you.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Indika. I think no, I don't see any questions yet. Anyone? Rasanka, over to you after that.
Okay, thank you, sir, for joining us today despite having a busy time schedule and sharing your valuable knowledge and experience with us today. So next, I would like to invite Ms. Samudini Abesurya to share your success journey with us.
Sorry, I was on mute. So can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Good morning, you all.
I think Indika, sorry, Indika, can you stop the sharing? Sorry. Indika, you are.
Okay. Okay. So I must say that I'm very thankful to Ms. Lasit sir and the team for giving me this opportunity to share my experience as a recently passed out graduate from the department. Let me begin with my background information. So I'm Samudya Pesuria, currently a technology advisory associate at Ernst & Young. And also I'm following MBA in IT from the University of Moratuwa. And also I was following CISA for some times because of my research in the MBA, I have to postpone it for a bit. So that's about me, and I'm from down south initially, and maybe the most unlike city of you all these days, and I'm from Tangol. And of course, I was studied my A levels from the girls' school in Tangol. And after that, I was also gained some GPA, which is not enough for me to choose management in the University of Jayawardhanapura. Probably I would be selected for Colombo, but because Japura was my father's dream, so I selected Japura only because of that. I didn't know anything about this degree, what is meaning by business information system degree. I didn't know anything about this. My sole intention was to select Chapura as it was my father's dream. And maybe there are many students even in your batch that who have selected Japura because of that reason, because you wanted to select Japura, you have come here for the business information system degree. I was like that initially. So that was my initial me. So when talking about my internship, I have done 2 internships. First one solely for my that completion of that internship record book. You may have or may not be have received that book for now. So you are given that internship record book to record your internship activities. The first internship I was done at a very reputed government institute as a software quality assurance trainee. And software quality assurance is not a field for me. I was not, it is out of my comfort zone, and I was not very much fond of software quality assurance. So there I wanted to emphasize that because I want to give you some advice regarding that. You must select your internship not to praise that not to fill that internship record book, because that internship is the foundation for your career path. So you must select it with care, select what is more prepared for you. For me, in our time, the internship coordinator was Miss Nishika. She never told me to select any internship to fill that book. They are always advising us to select what is best fit for us. But in my sense, at that time, I was thinking like, I will not be given any chance, any interviews after this. This will be the only interview I'll be given. Kind of mentality was there within me. So I have selected something very uh, that is not really important for me for to my internship. So I was so silly those in selecting that, and don't do that. I want to emphasize it as much as possible, because you may also with the intention of doing an internship which is not relevant for you, and just to fill that book. And there may be several people who are thinking that way. Don't do that. uh, so I have done that, and I have wasted like my 4 months with that in a field where I don't like to stay. So after that, I have moved into my second internship. I was really interested in HR that time, so I was HR intern at Lanka Hospitals. And when I was doing the internship there, I was given the opportunity to be assistant lecturer in my department. So most of you have seen me in the department. Uh, so I have lecturing was one of my utmost dream. Whenever from the day I was joined here in the Chapura, here from the day I was dreaming on a university, the lecturing was in my mind. So it was like my dream came true according to me that time. So I was selected. I came here as assistant lecturer, and I enjoyed a lot here as it was one of my favorite field to be in. And there also I have some initial thought that first class is only the thing that a lecturer should have. But after coming here as assistant lecturer, I learned that it is a very complex process. You have to get qualification over vast area. You have to be knowledgeable on the industry. You have to learn so many things to be a lecturer. At the same times, I was university released our final GPA, and I was 0.02 behind the first class, and it was 3.68. my GPA, and for a first class, you know that 3.7 is a must. So I was like, my thoughts were like broken. So I wanted to build up my dream from the beginning. So that I started my MBA from the University of Moratuwa at that time. And when the time passes, I have received the opportunity to be the assistant coordinator for the information system audit subject, where Lasitsa was the main coordinator, and Mr. Indika, who is a visiting lecturer, did the lecture. During the lecture, I feel like that this is my passion. I must learn about this. This is the most appropriate field for me. There are So I began to learn about the information system audit. You also may have given the chance to follow up Coursera courses online. So I have done Coursera courses on information system audit with the guidance of Lasit sir. Even after I became an assistant lecturer, I did that because I found my passion. Even after some delays in my career path, I found my passion finally. So with that, I have applied for the information system auditor, associate information system auditor position for Ernst and Young. When I applied for that position, I have no experience in information system auditing. Like, I have no practical knowledge. I have done some courses online, so I know what is like bit of a theory about that, but no practical knowledge. As Miss Chalani earlier said, I also was joined there without any knowledge on what is information system audit. So after I have gone through, there are 4 interviews in Ernst and Young. I have gone through all the interviews, and with that, I have given the opportunity to be an associate information system auditor. And now I have found my passion. It is almost 1 year past. I have joined Ernst and Young. Even before my 9 months completed, I had given the opportunity to audit some systems of the companies alone. Like, we are working under a lead. Initially, when we were joining the company, they keep us under a lead so they can direct us. So the same me. Even before 9 months passes, I have given some system audits to do alone. One company was the, you may have known, this topmost company in the stock market. I was given 4 systems in the critical systems in that company to audit alone. So they have identified my capability within 9 months. So as well as there may be the impression our earlier, like Miss Chalani, and also there were some seniors and also my batch peoples who worked in the information system audit of Ernst and Young. They have given a good impression for my managers and to partners. So they are very much keen on taking people from our degree. Like, they are always telling me that whenever there is a vacancy, they are telling me to tell it to our department so we can find people like you. So that was the recognition given by our past people. So that impression was there with them for you also. So you will be given, if you are interested in information system auditing, you will be given a great opportunity in Ernst and Young with that. So I have succeeded. I almost succeeded in auditing those companies alone, and I'm like climbing the ladder very fast than I thought now. And also, so that's about me, how I selected the information system auditing. And as a recently passed out graduate, I may not have much experience in the industry, but I have that experience in selecting the internship. That's why I was telling you repeatedly, select your internship wisely. And take your time to select your internship. You have many alternative courses given to follow also. So do that, and like, take your time to select your internship. So before ending my speech, I would like to say you something that happened recently. One of your senior have selected for our company, and even before 2 weeks or 1 week, he was asking me how to give the resignation letter, and I was completely shocked because it's so like almost a week. It's okay if to resign from a company if you are not interested in it, but rather than doing that, it's better if you can read the job description of the company before you're applying for the job. That is mainly happened because of the things I have said you earlier. He may also wanted to fill the internship book like me, which was I initially thought. And whenever he joined here, he feel like he was much into programming and coding side. IT auditing is much into governance side. So when he feel like it's not for him, he was resigning from there after 1 week. So don't be like that. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. In the beginning of my my in profession there also, I was feeling like the peoples are like machine. I like to work very much with people. I like to interact with people, and my department knows me very well that I participating in almost all the extracurricular activities in the university, like the CSDS. I was the treasurer there for the 2018, organizing those career fairs and employability skill awards. I was treasurer there. So I was so much into people. I want to interact more with people. But when I select there to go there, I was feeling like people are machines. They are working, and working. So that cultural shock I have initially got didn't let me to resign from the job, because and I'm thankful for that reason for keeping me there. I was afraid that I was getting so many instructions from Mr. Indika and Lasit sir before joining uh, my career there. So I was thinking that if I were resign from here, how could I face Lasit sir and Mr. Indika? That was the initial thought which kept me there, and I am very thankful for that reason, which kept me away from the cultural shock there. So resigning due to the cultural shock there. So however, I managed to be there, and I'm very much interested in the field now, and I got so many companionships there where I can easily manage my work. So uh, that's how it happens. So you must be very wise in selecting your internship, and even if you don't have the practical knowledge, just apply, and if you get selected, you are given the chance to improve your skills, improve your training skills. So work there and get the experience, and be like dedicated to your job, so you will be succeeded in Norway. So you will be succeeded in that way. So that's my instructions for you as a recently passed out graduate. So if you have any questions, you can ask from me, because I'm like you, just passed out.
So please ask questions. Again, now these all sessions are organized with the intention of providing you the opportunity, and we are obviously counting your attendance and also counting or giving marks for people's participation. Participation means not just coming and presence here. Asking questions also counts as marks. We specifically did that because we know I know it's not easy, the power cuts and other things, but then uh, all the senior alumni, I mean members of the, I mean like batches like Chalani, Samudi and Indika have come here. Now they are working, right? So they are spending their valuable time for your benefit, and it is the least that you can do is ask questions and try to learn. Okay, there is one question I think from Kasun on the chat.
He was asking, is there an advantage of previous auditing experience for information system auditing? Because I don't know whether they are same or not. For that, I would like to answer like, if you have completed like chartered accounting, in our department, they are very much keen on taking the students who have auditing background, of course, because we have some sections in IT auditing as IT general controls and IT application controls. For the application control part, we have to have some knowledge on that financial side or the accounting side. So they are very much like to, in my managers, they are very much like to recruit the people with who have done the chartered. Obviously you have done the chartered and also chartered plus IT background. They very much like to do it because of that application controls you have to test, because we are not given the chance to coordinate with the finance people every time they have their auditing part. So for us to do our application controls, to have an auditing experience will be an advantage, but it's not a must for an IT auditor. It will be an advantage.
Kasun, I hope the question, is it clear to you? Kasun, the person who asked the question. Okay. So others?
May I please know the industries where IS audit opportunities are available? Is it only limited to banking and finance? Not of course. There are some export companies and also some like what I say, manufacturing companies. All of they are doing auditing for their IS information systems. So these days, when we are also giving recommendations, when we are auditing their system, we are requesting them to implement a separate sections for IS auditing to so that they can have audited their system internally before we do as external auditors. So not only the financial sector has the IS auditing, you can find it anywhere where the information system is available. Okay.
I'll just add one thing there. Usually, I'm not an audit expert per se, but I think there are usually there are four accounting firms, international known:
Yes.
Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, and EY. So I think now somebody is working with EY, and so usually one of the things, if you join one of them, one of the advantages, personally we recommend them, because now one opportunity is if you work for them and if you proceed in your career. Now I know there is last time we brought, there was Nirujan Sitmenagamurthy, who was, I think, in several of this when he was in internship. He's also in abroad. He's now in I think Dubai or somewhere, I can't remember the city, but he's again a senior IT auditor. One of the advantages, and now in Chalani's case also, now she worked with EY again, and then she had the opportunity to move to Australia, because if it's the big four accounting firms, if the work experience you count in Sri Lanka is because it's part of the larger body, it's the same there's an advantage when you want, if you want to move out to some other country, the experience is the same. So I would personally feel there is an advantage in working for one of those. I feel anything to add something.
Yeah, yes, yes, of course. If you are working for a big four company, your global exposure is very high because they have that internal system for Ernst and Young. They have the internal system for their global companies. Even within the company, you can have transfers to global companies, and of course, working under a big four company is a big recognition for you when you are, if you have a plan on moving abroad or working under global sector, it will be very useful. The recognition is very high.
Any other questions? I wonder. So I think before I hand over to Rasangika, I think actually Samudhi has reached out to us as well. A couple of months back, she mailed me that if there are opportunities available, if the students are available, that she would be willing to support them, their CVs with EY. So we will connect anyone interested with Samudhi if you are interested in this domain.
Yes, of course. And also, sir, I think there's one more question. Shall I answer that question also, sir?
Yes, of course.
To be a IS auditor, as I have said you earlier, for me, I have no qualifications. I was just followed my degree here, and I have obtained the degree from Business Information Systems. That's the only thing I had when I have joined the company. But the most primary or the most important qualification for IS auditor is to complete CISA. I have started CISA once I joined there. So if you can start CISA, it will be a great advantage. And of course, I know if Mr. Indika is conducting the information system auditing subject for this year also, he will be offering you some opportunities to follow it, CISA. And I was one of the privileged person to get that opportunities from him. And I must say I'm very thankful for that. So if you can follow CISA, it will be a great advantage. To begin with, you can come here and start, and that will not be an issue.
So unfortunately, this auditing subject, information system auditing subject, was offered back when I think somebody was in the department, because this is 2020, there was an issue because some of the students were not able to do internship because of COVID.
Yeah.
So it was actually an alternative to do for internship. I mean, personally, doing the subject in an alternative to COVID, I mean, alternative to internship is not good, because internship has much more value. So if I mean, so in our current syllabus that is there, but if you are a first year student who's over here in the first year, now in the new degree program or the new updated syllabus, information system auditing as well as security are two different subjects in certain tracks. So that is in the new one. But again, like Samudhi, now I think in your degree also you didn't have a subject called information system auditing, but then you followed this Coursera course, for example, right? And that and basically I think through that and other domains you have got the knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, I think if there are no other questions, Rasanka, or I don't know who's doing the latter part.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And if you want any more further questions, you can ask from me anytime. Contact me through LinkedIn as Samudya Besurya. Of course, I'm just recently passed out, so you can ask me anything if you need. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Samuni Abesuri, for sharing your experience and knowledge. And we are very grateful for your valuable guidance. So next up, I'd like to invite Pasidhu Gayashan to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Rasanka. It's an honor for me to be asked to deliver a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of all the students, I extend my most sincere thanks to all the speakers of our Career Launchpad Episode 2, Ms. Charani Karunanayaka, Information Security Manager of PFCC Bank, Ms. Samudya Besurya, Technology Advisory Associate of EY, and Mr. Indiga Javira, Senior Information Security Officer of KNET, who spared time from their busy schedule to grace the occasion. Moreover, I express a sincere vote of thanks to Professor Lasit Gunawardena for coordinating this Career Launchpad program. Additionally, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our head of the department, Dr. Mahesh Fernando, as well as all the IT department lecturers for their assistance in the organization of this workshop. Finally, I would like to thank all of my department colleagues who showed up today. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, Pasindu. With that, we have come to the very end of episode 2 of BIS Career LaunchPad 2022, and we will be meeting again with the third episode. Till that, have a good day and stay safe.